welcome to today's webinar, an introduction to AutoEntry to help you get set up for success. My name's Phil. I'll be doing this webinar with you today. A little bit of housekeeping. The webinar itself will consist of an initial presentation, and then we'll have a live product demo. Hopefully by the end of this, you'll have a decent enough idea on how to get up and running using AutoEntry, get your company set up and linked in with your accounting software package, and start processing your first couple of documents. So first things first then, so what is AutoEntry? You're probably curious about that after joining this webinar. So as I'm sure you know, manually entering your data into your account software is a bit of a slow, painful and laborious process. Also, manual data entry work also gives you the potential to spend more time than you'd necessarily want to looking for lost documents or correcting mistakes. So with AutoEntry, you can automate your data entry process. That's going to free up more time for you to spend, it's going to free up more capacity and time for you, rather, to spend on supporting your customers and on building your business. So the more important things for you, AutoEntry will free that up for you. How does it work then? So essentially AutoEntry captures the data from your invoices, receipts and statements. You categorize those and you publish results through to your accounting software package. And what that does for you, that removes all the general grind, pain, hassle and misery of manual data entry work. Quick recap, quick little cheat sheet as you were for what you're doing. You're going to photograph, scan or email the documents into ourselves. You're going to sit back and let us do the hard, laborious manual data entry work for you. You're then going to publish results through into your accounting software package. Some of the benefits you're going to get from using AutoEntry then, so you've got your speed, timeliness and accuracy. If you're looking at protecting the environment a wee bit by cutting down the amount of paper that you're handling, we're definitely a tool for you to achieve that. And also, don't worry, we're not going to leave you hanging all by your lonesome. We do have dedicated security and support infrastructures in place to help you along the way. AutoEntry then, we are owned by Sage, but the company is called AutoEntry by Sage, but we are largely platform agnostic. So in addition to the Sage packages, AutoEntry works with Xero, QuickBooks, Sort My Books, Free Agent, Cashflow, and a whole host of other account software packages. So the main features of AutoEntry then, so you can capture invoice line items manually or automatically. If you have different rates of VAT on an invoice, you can see a breakdown of the tax rates you're being charged. If you want to save yourself time, and if you're not using a bank feed, you can save that time by marking your invoices as paid within AutoEntry. If you're getting invoices from suppliers where it's a bit like Groundhog Day every month, they're always going to the same nominal code and VAT code, you can automate those to set the regular utility bills and suppliers to automatically publish. If you have staff members who are submitting expense claims, they can submit those using AutoEntry on the go. That'll cut down on those lovely printouts from Excel sheets that you're dealing with all the receipts stapled to the back of them. We'll digitize all that for you. It'd be somewhat remiss of me to chat about AutoEntry without briefly mentioning how much we actually charge you for using AutoEntry. So the good news for you is we do offer fair and flexible pricing. So our fees are based on a credit system and you're billed as a monthly subscription. We have six standard levels of subscription, so there will be a subscription there to suit you in the vast majority of cases. If you're looking for something a bit more bespoke and unique, anything over 1,000 credits, we can create a bespoke, unique subscription for you as well. In terms of how the credits are charged, so you're charged a 1 credit for what we call a standard extraction of invoices, receipts, bills, or credit notes. If you're extracting the line items on your invoices, receipts, or bills, or indeed if you're uploading a supplier statement, we're charging you the 2 credits. And if you're uploading a bank or a credit card statement, we're charging you the 3 credits for each page. A little bit more about our subscription details. So it's a monthly subscription, so you don't need to worry about that one big annual bill. You can spread the cost out over the 12 months of the year. The only thing we're charging you for are the documents you're uploading, so you can add as many companies and users to your account as you want to, completely free of charge. All subscriptions come with a 200% overdraft facility. The term we use for that is overage. So if you have a slightly busier month, don't worry, we're not going to cut you right off. You can just dip into your overdraft. We've no hidden charges. You can renew early at no extra charge. And also, if you have a quieter month, the converse then, if you're having a busier month, when you buy the credits, they last you for 90 days. So if you don't use your full allocation, no stress, no panic, they'll roll over for you into the next month. So you've probably heard enough about me rattling on about the various different bits and bobs about AutoEntry without actually seeing it in action. So let's show you how it actually works now. So the screen you're seeing there, that's what you're going to see once you're logged into your AutoEntry account. Now remember, this is a demo account that I have on my side, so chances are you won't be seeing as many companies as I am. So I've got 29 set up there at the moment. If you have a large volume of companies, you can always search for each company by name if needs be. Now, to set up AutoEntry, very first job you want to do is to create your company. Really easy to do so. You want to click the Add Company button, top right corner of your screen. You see a little form to fill in, so pop in your own email address next to the billing account, pop in the company name, country, currency, date format. You then want to confirm your mailbox details, so let me just quickly pop a name in for this company here. And I'm going to confirm my mailbox details. They're automatically generated for me, as you might have seen there. They're derived from the name of the company, hyphen the document type, and the domain will always be at mail.autoentry.com. You then want to confirm the accountant software details. And what we recommend you do here is select the Archive Invoices option, and your shared links field, you want to have those set to public. Click Create Company. That new company then will appear on your list of companies. Let me quickly sort these alphabetically so that new company that I created will appear. There it is. Next job for me then is to connect that company up with my accountant software package. To do that, click on the name of the company, click the Integrate button there, left-hand side of my screen. Make sure I have accountant software selected, and we'll see all the various different accountant software packages that are available. Now, if you're using a cloud-based package, or in layman's terms, if you're using a website as the accountant software package, you're just going to click the Connect option next to the package. That's job done for you. If you're using a cloud connected or a computer program, there is an extra step to do that because the computer program isn't directly connected up to the internet for you. Now, quick little spoiler alert, there's only two packages on that list where you need to do that for. That's for Sage 50 and the desktop version of QuickBooks. Now, to get around this problem, you're just going to install a piece of bridging software onto either your machine or your server, and that piece of bridging software is called the AutoEntry Desktop Sync app. That's how AutoEntry is going to speak with your desktop piece of software. Now, to do that, you just want to click the Connect option next to Sage 50. Tell us that you need the Sync app, and then download the exe file for the installer, and you're just going to follow the install wizard. Now, please forgive me for getting a little bit techie here now. So, just in terms of how you want to install that, if your files for the accountant software package are saved locally on your computer on your C drive, you're going to install that program as a Windows service on your computer. If you have them saved, on the other hand, on a server on the likes of K or a H drive, you're going to download and install that program as a console application onto the server itself. And for an easier life using AutoEntry, we do recommend that you leave that program running. Once you've done that, you're pretty much ready to go using AutoEntry. Once you've integrated with your accountant software, you're pulling across all the suppliers, customers, nominal codes, and VAT codes that you have already set up in them. If you want to as well, you can set other staff members up with a login, or indeed set your accountant up with a login so they can log in, get the documents when they need it. You don't have to worry about them ringing you up asking for various copies. They can dip in and out, grab what they want as and when they need. So to do that, you want to select the people option, and you want to select add people. First box you need to populate is the email address field. You then want to invite them to your own account. You can define the relationship to the account as required, and if you option of giving access to a single company, pick the company from the list, or to all companies, and confirm you're given all company access. Once you've done that, you're clicking the send invitation. The person you're inviting will get an email from ourselves at AutoEntry. They're simply clicking through the link containing that email to accept the invitation. And obviously, if they haven't already set up any sort of account with ourselves, they will be prompted to define a password as well, so they can log in securely to access your various documents. Now, once you've done that, you're pretty much ready to go using AutoEntry. So remember at the little presentation at the beginning, I was saying there's 3 steps to it. Step 1 is getting the document into our system. Step back is sitting back, relaxing, letting us do the hard work for you. And step 3 then is publishing results through the accountant software package. Let's have a quick chat to you about step 1. Step 1, you're getting the document into our system. So you've a couple of ways of doing so. You can always upload the document directly to the site by clicking the Upload Document option. That opens up a little file uploader dialog. So you'll see 2 drop downs. Drop down on the left, you want to pick the company that the document relates to. Drop down on the right, you're picking the folder that document relates to. So you'll see 5 options: purchases, supplier statements, sales, expenses, and bank statements. Quickly show you what they look like. Purchase and sales, your interface is exactly the same. We recommend leaving the auto option selected. What that means is if you're scanning a load of invoices in one go, putting them into the same PDF, we'll split that PDF out into respective invoices for you. If you want to go item per page or single item, you can do so. And if you want us to extract the line items on the upload, tick the box where it's saying capture line items on purchases, or indeed on sales if you're uploading your sales. You're just dragging and dropping your files into this panel, or you're browsing for them in your file explorer. You'll see a little reminder of the email address that you created for that company as well. So if your suppliers are already emailing the invoices, just forward them on to your unique purchases email address. Interface for your sales is exactly the same, and your interfaces for the supplier statements and expenses are pretty similar. Only difference being you don't have to capture line items button for both of those. Interface for the bank statements now is a wee bit different because it's a slightly different upload. You have the option of uploading documents to individual projects. So say if you have multiple bank accounts, add a project for each account, and then when you're uploading the file, pick the project that it relates to. Now we mentioned the emails as the email field as well, so you can email in your purchases, sales, supplier statements, and expenses. And also for your expenses, purchases, and sales, you can use the AutoEntry app to take a quick snap of the document and upload it. So that's step one, getting the document into the system. Step two then is sitting back, letting us do the hard work for you. So I could go on telling you about which cup of tea, which biscuits to go for, but sure, look, you know that more yourself, and you know what, you probably have more to be getting on with than sitting down relaxing with a cuppa. Step three then is getting the documents through into the accounting software package. So let me open up my demo company that's linked in with Sage Accounting, and you'll see in the company field, you've got a panel for each document type. Process documents are going to sit in the inbox for each panel. So let's have a go at publishing one of these 10 purchases I've got ready to go. So I want to open up my purchase inbox. I'll see the document sitting there. Now you have two ways of coding them. You can do so quickly from the main list view here. To do that, you're specifying the supplier account, category, and VAT code. So I tell you what, let's go on ahead and deal with this Screwfix invoice here. So we've got our supplier, it's Screwfix. If it's a new supplier, we can add the contact here as well. We want to set our nominal code, so let's have a look here. I tell you what, we'll say Screwfix, it's materials rather than goods, and we want to set our VAT rate. So Screwfix are charging me the standard 20%. So I can also set remembered categories and VAT codes for Screwfix through here as well. So see here, I've got a little prompt, ask me if I want to remember those details for that supplier. If I click yes for that, that's going to set them for me, meaning the next time the invoice is coming in for Screwfix, there'll be even less clicking for me to have to worry about doing. Once I'm happy with that, I'm clicking to publish that Screwfix invoice across into Sage, and that's job done for me. So that's one way of doing it. Second way is to click to view the detailed view of the invoice. So let's take the Sony invoice just below that for the best part of £8,000. So let's open that up. Click to view it. We'll have a nice copy of the invoice sitting there on the right-hand side of my screen. Again, we're going to set the supplier account. We can code the category as well, and we can code the VAT code. If we're extracting line items, which we are in the case of this invoice, say if we want to pop a different category here. So for example, let's go back into my cost of sales good. Again, I can set a remembered line item field, and if I have a look up here at the top, we'll see the category field has actually changed to multiples because I've got different line items in there. Similarly, if I'm using the likes of my departments and cost centers, or indeed projects, if I have those set up in my account software package, I'll see drop downs for them here. If Sony are invoicing me in euro for argument's sake, I can set the currency code to euro using the 3-digit EUR code. We'll see there that chunk, that best part of £8,000 is converted from euro into sterling. Looks a little bit more palatable. We're just shy of £7,000 once we convert it into sterling, and we use the exchange rates provided by the ECB, the European Central Bank, to generate those. If I want to mark the invoice as paid, I can do so. Mark it as paid, specify which bank account I'm paying it from. I'm always going to publish to a supplier payment. My payment date and reference are derived from the invoice due date and the invoice number respectively. Now, if I want to go into the supplier settings page for that supplier, see here I've got that little green truck next to the supplier account field. If I click that, that'll open up the supplier settings in a new tab for me on the browser. Means I can quickly and easily jump back to the invoice if needs be. Few things you want to set here. So if you want to automatically set the capture line items field, you can do so. If you haven't already set your remembered category and VAT codes, you can do them here as well. Once you've set those, you can turn on the auto publish option for that supplier. So again, for your more Groundhog Day-ish invoices where it's month in, month out, same nominal code, same VAT code, let us handle that for you. Automate the living daylights out of that for yourself by turning on auto publish. You can set your default currencies, due dates, and date formats as well. And you can also set the default payment accounts if required. You also have the option of setting in line item rules. Now it's a little bit more advanced, so we do provide one-to-one training. So if you want to go into that in more depth, we can certainly do that there for you. You also have a quick shortcut to the inbox and archive for invoices for that particular supplier if you want to get to them quickly. Now, once the invoice has been published across, we will send the PDF image of the invoice into your account software as well as the invoice details, and we'll automatically archive the invoice for you within AutoEntry. Now, your process for your sales, it's exactly the same as is your purchase, so we're not going to bore you repeating the same information. Next document to talk to you about is your supplier statements. AutoEntry is a nice nifty tool for you to make sure that you have all the invoices that your suppliers are telling you should have on a statement. That's going to cut out on those lovely credit control calls that you're dealing with from suppliers who may not have bothered sending out the invoice out to you in the first place. So to do that, you're going to open up your supplier statement inbox. You're going to click to view the statement that you want to reconcile. You're going to set the supplier account, and you're going to select the reconciliation option, and you'll click auto match. What that's going to do for you, left of the screen, you've got the invoice that the suppliers are telling you should have. You've uploaded the corresponding invoice to AutoEntry. You will see it populate there on the right of the screen, along with a wee little flag there saying matched. So if we were taking this statement as an example, we'll see here that we've got 4 to 6 invoices. We know we need to get onto TNT to get 2 that are missing. So that's the invoice ending 625 for 33.59 and the invoice ending 753 for 60.40. Once we get those, upload them into AutoEntry. Because of Automatch turned on, once they feed into our system, that statement will reconcile for you. Next document type to chat to you about is the bank statements. So essentially what AutoEntry does for you with a bank statement, we convert a PDF file into a CSV. Now, quick little caveat for you, obviously if you're able to set up a bank feed in your account software package, absolutely no need to use AutoEntry for the bank statement extraction. Similarly, if you can already get CSVs from your online banking, again, there's not a whole lot of need to use the AutoEntry bank statement feature. Remember, aim of the game with tools like ourselves is to create as little work as possible for yourselves, free up more time for you. So, you do not want to be doing work that you don't need to be doing, if that makes sense. So with the bank statements, just like with the other document types, once they're processed, you'll have them sitting in your statement inbox. If you're uploading statements to individual projects, as we are in the case of this demo account, we'll see here we've got 2 projects set up. Any statements uploaded to that same project will be grouped in together. Now we'll tell you the account number if it's present on the document. We'll tell you the date range the statement covers. If you're missing any pages, we'll also tell you what dates you're missing. Now, what you're doing with that statement, then you're going to download the statement that you want. You're going to specify how you want the Excel file to be formatted, or indeed if you want to download a QIF file instead. So you can download a standard CSV or XLS or QIF. You can also download files that are formatted for the specific accounting software packages. So I'll tell you what, we're using Sage Accountant in this demo company, so we want the UK dates. We're going to select that format. And if you want it as well, say you don't want the whole statement, you only want a couple of weeks from it, you can filter the dates that you're downloading as well. Obviously, if you want the whole statement, you don't need to filter your dates. You're then just going to download that file. That Excel file will be formatted for Sage Accountant, so you can just throw that straight into Sage Accountant and carry on doing your bank rec. So where you previously might have been spending ages manually entering transactions, we cut out all that mess in there for you. Now, final document to talk about is the expense reports. So with expense reports, that can eliminate those lovely printouts of an Excel sheet with a rake load of receipts stapled onto the back of it. We digitize all that for you. Quick caveat, there's a little bit of setup to use AutoEntry for the expense reports. You want to make sure that your users are set up with their logins and they have the relevant permissions. So remember, you're going back into your people section here. And when you're editing the user's permissions, you're just going to click the edit option. For expenses, it's simply a case of ticking the box what you want them having access to. So if it's an employee, you only want them submitting expenses. Obviously, their line managers or directors might want to approve and edit before approval, and will even have admin access over the expense side of things. You can also set the permission settings, so you can specify who that user's expense approver is and what mileage rates they're allowed to claim as well. On the subject of mileage rates, let's go back to this particular demo company here. And we want to click onto the Manage Lists option that we'll see here on the left of the screen. And we're going to define our expense categories and mileage rates. So AutoEntry does come preloaded with some of the more commonly used expense categories. If you want to save yourself even more time as well, you can map the expense category to a nominal code. And also, if you're using a category that's not in the list, you can add one. Just click Add an Expense Category. That'll get it into our system. If you want to upload a CSV, you can do so as well. We provide you with a template that you can upload. Similarly, for your mileage rates, you're selecting the mileage rates option. You're adding a rate or you're uploading a CSV. So if you're adding a rate, you're popping it up, you're giving it a name and the amount per mile. Now, if you're listening to me from Ireland, you know we use the metric system rather than imperial, so you can switch your unit of measurement from miles to kilometers. Once you've done that, your staff member is pretty much ready to go using AutoEntry for the expense reports. Easiest way for them to do so is using the AutoEntry app. They're simply taking a picture of their receipts or logging details of their drives or their mileage claims in the app. When they want to get paid back, they're just going to create an expense report, add the various receipts that they want to get paid for, and submit that on for approval. Once the expense report has been submitted for approval, whoever is approving the expense claim is logging into the website and they're navigating to the review section of the expense reports folder. From there, they will see any expense reports that have been submitted into them for approval. They'll see the name of the report, the email address of the person submitting them, the email address of the person approving them, the date of the report, number of items on the report, and how much is being claimed back for. To approve that, they're simply going to click to view the report, and to approve it, click the green approve button. Reject it, click the red reject. And you can always reassign it to another expense approve as well if it was sent to the wrong person in error. If it's a case where you need to print out a physical docket for signatures, you can download a PDF of the expense report. You'll have to report the summary sheet in the first page and then copies of the various receipts attached to the PDF as well. Once the expense report has been approved, we then pop that into your purchase inbox, and essentially you're treating that like any other supplier invoice, only difference being that the supplier is the actual staff member who is submitting the expense claim. So we'll see here, back in March, I sent an expense claim for to go to 300 quid in there back in March 2020. So let's get that into Sage. So we're setting the supplier account, and then we want to make sure that each receipt or each line on the report on the invoice has its category and VAT code set. Once I'm happy with that, I'm clicking to publish that through to Sage, and that's job done for me. Now, the last thing to talk to you about on today's webinar, you'll be glad to know, you're probably sick of hearing my voice at this stage, is how you are in full control of your subscriptions. So to do that, you want to go into your settings page here on AutoEntry, and you've got your subscription and billing tab. Now, if it's a case where you don't have a subscription, like I do here on this demo account, only options I'm going to see are the options to add a subscription or to purchase credits in bulk. If you have a subscription, you won't see the option of adding one, rather you'll see the option of changing your subscription, purchasing credits in bulk, and then you do have the option to cancel or pause the account if the subscription if needs be as well. On the payment history section, that is where you can download your AutoEntry invoices, and you can run reports showing you your usage in the usage section as well for yourself if needs be. Now, at the presentation as well, I did mention we're not leaving you hanging, so we do have a support team available for any technical queries that you might have. You can get through to them by clicking on the green chat icon you'll see bottom right corner of the screen and sending us a message. You also have access to our help center as well, where you can find all sorts of lovely on-demand training articles and videos and our live service updates for what's happening with the website. Click the help icon, that'll open that up for you in a brand new tab.